Sup YouTube, it's Decklist TCG here, and welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. Today we're going to be checking out some rogue decks or rogue picks for the Pokemon TCG World Championships or for the Shrouded Fable format. So if you guys want to be seeing some niche picks in the format, then this is going to be a video for you. We already talked about the top 10 best decks for Worlds. We talked about the tier list. We talked about the best cards for Shrouded Fable. So you have enough content, of course, if you are attending the World Championships over in Honolulu, Hawaii, to base your deck list upon what is most expected, or just to win against what is most expected. Today we're going to be checking out some deck lists that are a little bit on the rogue side but could still perform quite well. So hopefully you guys are excited for today's video. If you are, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Only requires one tiny second every time, but does help out the channel tremendously. And subscribe for more Pokemon TCG content coming your way. Clicking the little notification bell also helps to stay updated automatically when a new video hits the channel. With that being said, there's going to be around 11 deck lists, and these are based on some successful Japanese lists. So let's just dive into this video right from the get-go. But before we talk about these 11 decks, I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors that make the videos possible. DragonShield.com for your sleeves, binders, and deck box. You can get 5% off using the coupon ZAPLOS5 on everything on the website. Stock up on some new product for, of course, the new season. There's YourPlaymat.com to create your own unique custom playmat. PokeTownStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can get 5% off on everything on the website with instant email delivery using the coupon ZAPLOSTCG. And there's CardMarket.com for European players to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. I use it all the time, and you guys should do it as well. You can use the referral name ZAPLOSTCG to help support the channel. With that being said, let's talk about Dialga VSTAR, shall we? Dialga VSTAR with, of course, the Star Chronos attack allows you to attack twice in a row, which is very powerful because the Metal Blast also dishes out a ridiculous amount of damage. We power it up through the means of Metang, and there's even a one-price Zamazenta in the list to help out. You can even power up Mew EX as well if you want to, and there is now the Pheasantipity EX, which you'll see time and time again in decks that are a little bit weak to hand disruption. So we do have Radiant Greninja for draw power on top of the Pheasantipity for, of course, the mid to late game. The cool thing now is that we do have that Power Hourglass tool card, allowing you to, if it's attached to a Pokemon in the active position, at the end of your turn, you can actually accelerate an energy from the discard pile to it, which is helpful really well because you can get Dialga VSTAR powered up a little bit faster. There's a 4 Super Rod in here, and the cool thing also with this list is that we do have that new Stadium card that allows you to put a card from your hand on top of the deck, so your Metal Links, the Metang's ability, is going to be more successful. So that's pretty much the deck list, and that might be actually seeing a shot at the World Championships. It is very on the rogue side, but it can definitely perform if you can get the Dialga VSTAR set up ASAP. Another one that is pictured on the rogue side is going to be the Okidogi, or actually the Loyal Tree Darkness box, whatever you want to call it. So we do have Munkidori EX, which actually is considered a one-prize Pokemon. There's also the Pheasantipity, which actually draws cards if you're in the mid to late game. If something got knocked out during the opponent's last turn, it allows you to draw 3 cards. There is the Patcherant EX, which allows you to switch into the active position with one of your Darkness Pokemon from the bench to the active, and then you are poisoned. With the Binding Mochi tool card, you're then slapping 40 additional damage. So you are a 2-prize beatstick deck. You have some free retreaters in there in the form of Morpeko as well as the Mew EX, and with Janine's Secret Technique, you can accelerate Darkness Energy to 2 of your Darkness type Pokemon, allowing you to set them up quite easily. Attachment, Dark Patch, Janine, and off you go. You can go for Calamity Storm with a Roaring Moon, or maybe even French Gouging, depends on what's in the opponent's side of the field. And there's even a Blood Moon Ursaluna for the late game. So a very unique list. It uses Janine's Secret Technique as the main way to, of course, get energies into play. Your draw power becomes Pheasantipity, Radiant Greninja, and Mew EX on top of some Pokestops. Tons of items in this list, so it does make sense. I would love to actually implement maybe one Squawkabilly in here for the Turbo list, but this is actually not too bad to start off with. It's also on the rogue side because people are saying there's better 2-price beatstick decks out there. So with that that being said, we do have the Loyal Tree EX box, as I like to call it. Then there is Froslass. I don't know what to say about Froslass. Is it a great pick for the World Championships? It's still on the rogue side, but Froslass has a cool ability that allows you to put 1 damage counter on every Pokemon in play that has an ability except for any Froslass. We did make a video about this yesterday, so there is of course ways you can see this Froslass deck in action. Now there's the new Yveltal to spread some damage, and we still come back with the Mawile to trap with the Tempting Trap, and the late game Blood Moon or Ursaluna. 2 copies of TM Devo because it works wonders up against Charizard or Dragapult matchups. You just use your Munkidori's Adrena Brain because you damage yourself because of Froslass, and then put that damage on the opponent's side of the field while trapping them with a Mawile. Super cool indeed. You can even go more aggressive with stuff like the Yveltal, 20 on everything, and then off you go. So you can punish the opponent more quickly, then go for TM Devo and swoop the opponent's entire field. There's 2 copies of the Temple of Sinnoh in here because I think Lugia is one of your more scary matchups in the format, but it's a very crazy deck to be playing with, and if you want to have a big brain situation going, this could be a deck for you. Again, on the rogue side for sure. Then there is Great Tusk. What can we say about Great Tusk that hasn't been said already? We now get that new Stadium card that turns any rule box, actually any non-rule box Pokemon into a 0 price Pokemon. Which is very scary. So your main objective with Great Tusk is milling the opponent so they are out of cards, and the cool thing is that if you discarded all the opponent's stadium cards, that the new stadium, Ace Pack Stadium, will stick. If that sticks, the opponent will no longer take prize cards for all of your non-rule box Pokemon. So even if they knock out a Great Tusk, it's not going to allow them to win games. There's a Cornerstone in here as well, and a couple of DTE, so I could see this working out as well against some of your terrible matchups. You can even go for a lone Cornerstone, which is helpful for sure. There's even a Mimikyu in here which can help stall the opponent out. So a lot of crazy things in this list for sure. I wonder how a list like this will perform. I don't even know if this card is already legal. I should check what it is, but it's just a 1 card difference, so it doesn't make any difference for the exact 60, I would say. I should really check out what this 1 card is. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments section below. But Great Tusk also a little bit on the rogue side, but could perform well if it hits the right matchups. Moving forward, United Wings. United Wings is a deck that nobody likes to play because they're still scared of stuff like Dragapult. You do have answers for, of course, stuff like Sableye Sprinkles. Not only do you have Kyurem, you also have Jirachi to protect, so that is no longer a bad matchup. But anything that runs a Dragapult in their listing about a Regidrago deck or just Dragapult itself will be very scary for you because you play low HP Pokemon. But, for example, if you are hitting a lot of archetypes that are playing stuff that is weak to you, stuff like Gardevoir, weak to Murkrow, stuff like Lugia, weak to Wattrel, stuff like Charizard, weak to the Dartrix, you're gonna have a better time for sure. If you don't see any Dragapults, you're gonna be good. It's a risky pick for sure. You have Pheasantipity EX to draw cards. There's even the Grant to allow you to slap more damage, or actually it's not gonna allow you to slap more damage because you don't play any fighting Pokemon, but it's gonna allow you to put it back from the discard pile time and time again to discard more of your United Wings pieces, because we do gain that new Dartrix in the format. And with the Secret Box Ace Pack card, you can actually find that Collapse Stadium, so you can get rid of your Squack ability, which you're always going to be using to just go turbo. Then there is Iron Thorns, Squad Iron Thorns. What can we say here? If you are wondering how many lightning energies there are, there's 7 in this list, and you're going to be playing the game where the opponent is not allowing to just start into the game because they can no longer use abilities. Rotom with, drawing cards. No, forget about it. Charizard, Infernal Rain, forget about it. Luminia, no, it's not going to work. Radiant Greninja, any Pokemon with a rule box no longer has an ability, and that's the power of the Quad Iron Thorns deck. You play Crushing Hammers to slow the opponent down. You have a couple of Canceling Cologne to hit through stuff, like, for example, Cornerstone or a Mimikyu, for example. The Unfair Stamp Ace Pack card could help you to just buy some more time. The TM Energize can get some energies into play. There's even some TM Devo, so you don't need to like 3-shot a Charizard. You can just attack and then devolve it, which is very crazy. There's Eerie for some cherry picking some items from the opponent's hand to discard them, and there's even the new Colress. That Colress allows you to search your deck for like a stadium, which actually for a special energy or stadium, and that's going to be very useful to get your DTEs. In the past there was a couple of energy lottos which are still in there, but with the help of Pokegear, finding that Colress can find yourself to some early attack because you will find that DTE more often. Some handy fans in here as well, so handy fans on top of Crushing Hammer can definitely be very devastating for sure. there is Blissey EX. What can we say? Blissey EX has a very terrific Dragapult matchup, but the rest of the matchups are a little bit fringe. That's why there's 2 copies of Cornerstone EX in here, on top of the Fajiraf EX, allowing you to be immune from EXs, which could help out against specific archetypes. For example, if you're up against something like that only plays EXs, you're gonna have the upper hand. Even some Cornerstones in here as well, so it's a little bit of a controllish archetype. Against specific archetypes, you use the Cornerstone, against others the Fajiraf EX, and against the Dragapults of the world or decks that cannot one-shot, you just use Blissey EX with Munkidori, and we all have tested this before. That sounds very, very strong in my book. You can even put a Hero Scapel to a Blissey to make it a monstrous 400 HP stage 1. So what's there not to love? There's even Lost City to knock out Pokemon. For example, you can knock out a Charmeleon, and then out of nowhere, Fajiraf is been put into play, which can really help out. There's even TM Evolution in here, which can really get your Evolution Pokemon out of the deck flying. So cool list for sure. Blissey, what can we say? There is Venomoth with the perplexing shenanigans to item lock the opponent while confusing them with the ability of the Froslass that can spread damage on everything that has an ability. Very strong if you're up against the correct matchups. There's even the Punchful Gloves, which allows you to put more damage on the Pokemon, Crushing Hammers to slow the opponent down, Hyper Aroma to set yourself up, and Cleffa for the setup as well. So very rogue, I know, but it could definitely be worth seeing a couple of these lists in action before you're taking a choice to just try and create your own anti-meta deck. Now, Lost Box. What can we say about Lost Box? It is still very strong, don't get me wrong. And I think, personally, the only decks that we play in Kyurem is like decks that are automatically losing against Stabilize Bringer, for example, United Wings. And it's going to be a mainstay in Regidrago VSTAR decks, meaning that Lost Boxes have gonna be a rough road ahead of them because they can get hard tagged. But if you don't get hard tagged, the deck is just as solid as ever before. There is a Cologne in here, so Radiant Greninja can get some shenanigans done as well. Two prizes every single time, going for MP very much, going for the Frenzied Gouging, going for Moonlight Shuriken. It's all possible with Lost Box, and I wonder how much percentage of the metagame will still be Lost Box. Again, it's on the rogue side because of the fact that there is going to be some Kyurems over at Worlds. Then we have, I would say, Control archetype that just has a ton of Mimikyu, a ton of Cornerstone, Noiverns, and that's it. So the deck list is just pretty much walling out the opponent. You have some Bravery Charms, you have some Lost Cities to make sure you can knock out stuff that are going to be a threat for you. If you're knocking out stuff like, for example, I would say a Charmeleon, then all out of nowhere, the Cornerstone can wall off the entire Charizard deck. So very cool indeed. Mimikyu can wall off against stuff like the Dragapult, but I would love to include something like Mist Energy in here just for some sprinkle protection. But it's a very insane list. Using the TM Energize to fill your field up with Pokemon. You just start with Mimikyu, and then you TM Energize and get energies onto your Pokemon. Then you have some pennies for some lone Noivern, lone Cornerstone situations. Very cool rogue deck for sure. There's even a deck that just wants to be fallen behind by losing Dusclops and Dusknoir, just taking up some of the opponent Pokemon, not taking a lot of prize cards, but out of nowhere, you can make sure Luxray can attack for just a reversal energy. There's even the Gruda in here. That supporter allows you to, of course, draw cards until you have 7 in hand if none of your Pokemon have energies attached. There is the Colorist, which can actually get yourself any special energy of your choice. There's the Stadium card, the Ace-Pack one, turning your 1 prize Pokemon into 0 prize Pokemon. And with the help of Slowbro, you can get some crazy stuff going where you use Dusclops or Dusknoir, take a prize card, the opponent's at 1 prize card remaining, and then run it all home by taking 2 prize cards with that Slowbro. So very funky plays for a deck like this for sure. Be Barrel for draw power, Blood Moon, and in the late game as well to take some prize cards. And there's all coming together here with Dusclops and Dusknoir giving up prize cards, while you can then take 3 prize cards all together because of that combination of Slowbro and Dusknoir. So very unique deck list for sure. And the last one we're going to be talking about is a Tapu Bulu deck that's actually slapping 220 damage. Very easy to set up with a bunch of your Teal Mask Ogerpons. So the reasoning behind this deck actually is using Blissey to then put the energies onto your Tapu Bulu and then equip the DTE. So out of nowhere, you have a 1 prize Pokemon which can slap ridiculous amounts of damage. There's Phasandipity for draw power. So this is Blissey and friends, I would say. Blissey with the Teal Masks, and at one point, a Teal Mask itself can slap ridiculous amounts of damage because you can move basic energies from one Pokemon to another with the Blissey's effect. So another rogue deck indeed. So let me know in the comments below which one of these rogue decks was your favorite. Let me know if any of these actually you think will be successful at Worlds. I'm very curious to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in ridiculous ways for sure. And yeah, of course, click that notification bell so you don't lose any videos out of sight. There's gonna be more about Shrouded Fables, the World Championships, and even the upcoming sets as well. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG madness. Peace.